Hello and welcome to the 20th installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, along with our co-host, Jordan.
Hi. Yeah, 5 months. Woo!
Jordan, 20 weeks, baby. 20 weeks.
It'll be, yeah.
This is the most consistent I've been at anything ever just because I have someone else doing the work for me.
I can't deny, but I also can't.
That's a pro tip, actually.
I can approve.
If you want to make weekly content, you need to hire someone with motivation. And by hire, I mean be friends with.
I was just going to say, am I being paid or did I miss something here? I mean, you do pay for the RSS, so. In fairness,
yeah. I try to pick
So
up.
I get
try to
$10.
pick up various expenses as we need them.
So I get $10 a month, basically, because I get access to the RSS.
That's good. I give that to Spotify.
And in fairness, I do use your Photoshop account.
That's true. So that's another $10 a month. So
There you go.
$20 a month. Come work for me.
In January, my rates are going up. $30 a month.
If you start charging me $30 a month, I'm gonna punch you in the stomach.
Anyway, I was just envisioning my intestines rupturing.
So, if you should ever want to hear this podcast not on YouTube,
Which I hope you do.
Listen to it on Spotify, or you can listen to it on your favorite podcasting app, using our RSS feed. There is a link provided in the description.
As well as our email, synapsemisfire@pm.me.
Yes,
Shoot us death threats.
Comments, questions, concerns, and death threats.
Yes, sir.
And your comment, question, concern, death threat will be read on the show.
Yes, sir, and ma'am.
That's
about it. But to start off, just an announcement.
Very important warning for this episode.
There will be timestamps. There's going to be stories. And then it's going to be all Cyberpunk talk.
Yes.
Spoilers. Not just discussing the game, but
so this
spoilers.
is a Cyberpunk spoiler cast, essentially.
So if you don't want spoilers, just listen to the stories and then fuck off.
Basically,
and
we're not gonna discuss the end of the game because neither of us are there yet.
I would hope not. I mean, you got to enjoy it, savor it.
Well,
yeah, as much as possible.
Yeah,
we'll get there. But kick us off, Chrissy man. What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? It's been cold as shit.
Yeah, it do be snowed. Yeah,
it snowed last week.
That was fun.
And it's been. I was lucky too. I was off. I didn't have to go anywhere.
So, I woke up at my work was delayed an hour. So my regular start time
my work. I was actually surprised they closed.
Really?
For the snow.
My girlfriend's work closed.
Jesus, laptop, calm down. All right. This laptop's it was like $900, right? This is a Dell G3 laptop. It has an i5, quad-core i5, and a 1660 Ti, and it screams from recording audio.
Yeah, it do be hard sometimes, you know?
I guess, sure.
My work typically starts around 7. It was delayed till around 8, so I woke up at 6:40, shoveled out my whole car with my girlfriend, and then left for work. This is my first year driving.
It'd be weird if you shoveled out half the car.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I guess. Asshole. Shoveled out the whole thing. Left. Came home. And just lost my shit because our second floor tenant just parked in my spot. And I'm like...
you shoveled out?
And I'm like, do you think that you woke up at 6 in the morning to shovel this out? Or are you just a piece of shit? And I ended up flipping out, honestly, irrationally so.
No, I'd be pissed.
I punched my car window.
Well, I wouldn't have done that.
I went up to the apartment steps. The door was cracked open. I just kicked the thing open, stomped up the stairs, kicked slush onto their front door, and then walked up into my apartment. It was just pissed, right? So then he finally left, so I just ran down there.
And moved your car into the spot?
Went right into the spot. Oh, man, I was so irrationally angry, but that was my experience with the snow. First year with a front-wheel drive car in the snow.
Oh, yeah, that's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it went better than anticipated, but I guess, just how it is.
No, I was going to say this is my first winter with one, but that's a complete lie. Last winter was my first winter with a front-wheel drive sedan.
Yeah. So
I bought one for in July of 2019, right after I graduated, right when I turned 18.
Yeah, because
I bought a 2019 Hyundai Accent brand new.
You showed me it at I want to say it was Jason's graduation or birthday party.
Something like that.
You showed me, and I was just like, damn, boy.
Brand new car.
I still had the red boy back then, too.
Oh, yeah. Boy, you got a new red boy now. He's got a, what is it, a Chevy Impala? Cobalt. That's very red.
Luminescent red, yes. And
Is that what it's called?
No, I have no idea.
Oh.
I'm assuming it's just red.
I know my paint code, at least what the dealer told me, was it's urban gray. Gray.
I believe my paint code for the Explorer, for those who don't know, I had a 2003 Ford Explorer XLT. Honestly, was nicer than the car I have now.
Yeah, I found that with my Volkswagen too. It was like it was a higher trim model Volkswagen Golf.
Yeah.
And the 04 has better, it's in some respects better tech than my.
Yeah, here it is.
Than my 19 Accent.
I knew it. I remembered the paint code because I did body work with my dad to my car. G2 was the paint code on my Explorer, and that was considered Firehawk red. What?
That wasn't that red. It was more like a darker red, wasn't it?
Yeah. And Red Fire Pearl. That's what it's called.
I would call that like
maroon.
Yeah. Like no, your current car I would call like Fire Hot Red or some shit.
Oh yeah. I mean,
that thing's very red.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get something here about the paint code.
I'm so goddamn mad at this thing. I'm kicking out that much air. It's making a lot of noise.
The red was, I believe, right here. Sport red tint coat.
Sport red. That's not exciting. They
Yeah, I know. Oh wait, no. There's two reds. Victory red is one of them.
Oh,
no, it's Victory red.
That's a good one.
Victory red.
They actually had, I don't know if it was Chevy or like Toyota or something, a brand they had for a brief period of time. I think it might have been like Toyota or something because it must have just not translated right into English.
Yeah. Or
it has a different meaning in Japan. Was one of the colors they had was superior white.
Oh no!
Legitimately, they had to change it.
Was it like a Nissan maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah, I would assume it'd be a Nissan because that's like Japanese.
I mean, so's Toyota.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. The when you talk about cars, a lot of people just think like Toyota, America. They don't even realize it's a Japanese car.
One of the current paint codes, or one of the current paint names for Toyota is Ooh La La Rouge.
Ooh La La Rouge, I like that.
Yeah, it's a red one.
Nice.
Yep.
That's better than fucking superior white.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know some guys who sell them, and they were like,
they're like,
I really gotta look a customer dead in the eye and say, you want the Ooh La La Rouge.
Yeah, so Ooh La La Rouge and Superior White, two of the weirdest fucking names.
Superior White, that's really funny.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't get more. I mean, I'm sure they got flack for it, but I don't know.
I
guess
mean,
it's just a translation thing.
I figured it was just lost in translation.
Have you seen... Oh, what was it? Oh, I need to see if it's in my save post. Something on Reddit was talking about translations, and it was like, in Tokyo or something, it was like, I think a chicken, and it just... It just said man cock. I was like...
Man cock.
I was like, oh no.
Nice.
You never know with Tokyo, though. That might not be lost in translation at all.
Yeah, Japan's a weird place, man.
Yeah.
I imagine normal, like, average, everyday Japanese people feel really bad that their culture is pretty much solely represented over here by anime. Because then people show up to Japan and they're just, like, freaks. And just average, everyday people walking down the road. It's like if a transfer student comes over to America and speaks like Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
And is, like, really into McDonald's.
And like beer.
And, like, Bud Light.
Yeah.
And pickup trucks.
And trucker hats, yeah.
Yeah.
And boots with jeans and a denim vest, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bullshit.
And either talks like Peter Griffin or talks like
Quagmire?
Like a stereotypical Southerner.
Yeah.
Shows up. I'm just picturing a little Japanese guy. He shows up. Hello, everybody.
It's me. It's me, Mr. Japanese man.
Fucking Christ. All right, we're gonna have to cut a lot of that.
No, that's all right. So, hey, you know, some of the audience members have said they prefer that part. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh. They
Yeah.
prefer when we say fuck shit. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm
anyway,
fine with that.
we'll see how much stays. But
Do you have any specific questions? Do you have any like specific things you wanted to talk about before we jumped into the spoilers?
No, I was just telling the story about the snow we had, the car, the assholes through my spot, and other than that, it was a pretty tame couple of weeks. That's
why I wanted to talk about the cold. It just reminded me. I asked you if you had anything else you wanted to talk about, and I completely missed the thing I wanted to talk about.
Hey, happens.
As you know. I don't know if everyone
he's
currently...
pointing at my face in case you couldn't tell.
I don't know if everyone who is currently ever going to watch this knows, but I have a Volkswagen Golf. Mm-hmm. It is a 5... oh, Jesus.
It sounds like that when he accelerates.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a 5-speed manual, so when you drive... I'm sure everyone knows this. When you drive stick, there's no park, obviously, so you have to pull the parking brake.
Yeah. I usually let it sit on the hill with no out of gear, just in neutral.
I guess if you really wanted to, you could cut the engine and put it in first, and it won't roll. But that's not good for your first gear.
No.
Or put it in reverse, depending on which way your hill is.
Mm-hmm.
But from the cold and all the ice, I was gonna go out. Yeah, last night I was gonna drive it.
I was gonna ask you about this too. I was gonna ask if you drove it in the snow at all.
I was gonna drive it last night, and I couldn't because I went to go put my parking brake, disengage my parking brake, and there was nothing.
It was frozen or just completely limp?
It was completely limp.
Oh, no.
Because my parking brake is covered in ice, so it's completely seized at the moment until it thaws.
Yeah, which will be a while. Unless you get a straight blowtorch.
It's supposed to get up to the 40s tomorrow, so I have high hopes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just tough. Like unless you park it just right in the sun, which you can't drive it.
It's seized right now, and I was trying to use the wheels to break them loose, but it's front wheel drive, and the parking brake's the back wheels, so you can't exactly do that.
Yeah. Well, that's how all parking brakes are. Is they're supposed to be opposite your actual drive axle.
Yeah.
For that reason, so you can jack up the car and stuff.
Yeah. Moreover,
that sucks though.
I actually told my dad about this morning because he drives the car a lot too. Yeah. I told my dad about this morning. He goes, "Oh, I thought something was off." He took it to Walmart this morning with the seized parking brake somehow.
Huh.
And I still don't know how the heat from the brakes didn't.
I don't know how he didn't just kind of drag the wheels or bend the actual brakes out of the way. Because I did that with my Explorer. I took off with the parking brake on and fucked them up.
But it came back. He goes, "Yeah, I kept smelling something. I thought it was the brakes as well." I was like, "Yeah."
You're like, "Yeah, it was."
No way. And it came back, and it has a flat tire now. So.
Really? Which tire?
Back passenger side.
Man, can we just talk about tires for a second?
But I'm not gonna worry about it right now because it's like 18 degrees out.
Yeah.
And I have another perfectly good car I can use.
My fucking car, dude. I get this code that pops up. The tire pressure light comes on, and it says SVC sensor. Yeah. It's just the tire pressure sensor. My back left one is out. So I'm looking into how to fix it myself, and it looks like it's going to be a bitch. I can try to reset it, but it's battery powered, obviously. So if I need to physically replace it, I need to take the tire off the rim, obviously let out the air, take it off the rim, cut the stem, because it's built into the actual stem to fill the tire, and put a new one in with a new sensor. And then I think I need a tool to synchronize that with the onboard computer in my car. And
I always wouldn't bother. To tell you the truth.
So I'm thinking about not caring about it, but I was looking into it, and it seems like you can still get an inspection sticker with the light on for it. But I also don't want to run my chances of waiting until that time comes and then not getting one and then being pressed to get it fixed. Granted, at that point, I could really just send it in and be like, I need this fixed. But I also think it'd be a cool project for me to undertake on my own. And what's the worst that happens? I break the tire, and then I just buy a new tire, and it has a new sensor.
That could be some good Synapse Misfire content.
It might be.
I probably wouldn't be of any help, but
hey, I mean, doing the resync to the onboard computer seems easy, but getting a new sensor to sync with it, I don't think is as simple. So, we'll see. I'm gonna give that a shot first, the whole resync, and then if I have to replace it, it is what it is, you know.
It is what it is.
Still pisses me off though, because it just throws me the code every time I start the damn thing.
It is what it is.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah. I also got mad. Remember how I was saying I got mad when the guy stole my spot? And
Yeah.
I went to back in and I was like, damn, there's still snow on the window. So I got pissed, got out of the car, and flung all the snow. And then I just looked and it all landed in the driver's seat. And I was like, fuck, dude. So it just really added to the
You
anger.
stupid ass.
And I was just like, damn, I hope no one saw me like punch my window and then throw snow into my own car. They're just like, what is this fucking buffoon doing?
This absolute buffoon.
But anyway, yeah, let's move on.
So it was about 15 minutes, depending on what we keep.
Yeah, we'll be good. We have plenty more to talk about, so.
So we're doing Cyberpunk spoilers now. I'm saying it very loudly so that people know. All right, that was like what, 15 minutes?
Yeah, roughly, of us bantering. Now,
So
the good, hard, ice-cold lawn... I don't know where I was going with that.
Now it's time for Cyberpunk. We're going to talk about the game. The game that everyone hates right at the moment.
That's
Cyberpunk
good for them.
2077.
See.
This is... Did we mention that this is going to be spoilers?
Yeah, we did. If you didn't hear
Okay.
it, then
This is your
bounce.
final warning. Spoilers up ahead.
My character has a large penis. Ah, there you go. I spoiled it. Hope you
Mine
clicked
does
off
too.
fast enough.
Ugh.
Oh man, hope you guys clicked off.
Spoilers officially begin now. How do you think about the game? What do you think about the game? What do you like about it? What do you hate
Alright.
about it?
All right, let's
Because we were both very, very excited for it.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys know. So, just a little preface, preface for the audience. I'm over 20 hours in, probably around 21, 22, 21.77. I don't know, I'm making up
I'm like
numbers.
20, 28, 29.
Yeah, so I'm right over the 20 threshold, and I'm playing the game on hard difficulty as a nomad. And I'm playing as male V. Not sure how much that really changes, but...
We have like pretty much the same save. I'm playing on normal, but that's...
Yeah, which is good, because it'll honestly let us discuss a bit more in depth. And I do have to say, I said this on the show, my biggest skepticisms of the game was that the driving and the gunplay were going to be donkey ass. They're very good. Like, the driving is very satisfying.
I like the driving a lot, actually.
And the
I
shooting
do
I've
like
been
the driving
enjoying.
a lot.
So what do you like about the driving? I like how different each car kind of feels, and like you just kind of feel badass flying around.
I do like,
I hate the motorcycles though. Fuck the motorcycles, bro.
I've driven motorcycles like twice just because I wanted to use Jackie's motorcycle
That's
for a
exactly
bit.
the one I drove, and I hate it.
And I don't like the motorcycle. I don't like how they handle, but I was able to... I rear-ended a car in the motorcycle, and I didn't think this would happen, but V got thrown from the motorcycle.
Really?
And I was like... It was super funny, because I hit something, and all of a sudden, it was like I was...
First person.
Yeah, it snapped to first person, and my fists were out. Like...
That's funny.
I really, really like drifting around.
Yeah, that's
The driving's
like pulling
a bit,
the handbrake.
It's a bit soapy. It's a
yeah,
bit,
for sure.
if that makes sense. It's slidey.
Yeah, but I feel like
Floaty?
floaty is kind of
Slippery?
yeah.
That's kind of the word I'm looking for.
But I do feel like you get like you kind of adapt to it. Like you start to get a skill set for this game where you can eventually get really proficient at it and be flying.
The very first segment, I don't know how it works out in other life paths, but the very first segment as a nomad.
That was rough. Crashing every
Yeah.
time. I kept
Yeah,
fucking
I
hitting
thought you were
things.
talking about something I said.
No.
No, the very first segment where you first drive as a nomad, I drove and immediately crashed.
Well, because it just launches you out of the garage.
It just launches you, and I immediately crashed. So, in that process of crashing, I hit a person.
Oh.
And because the game is unfinished, the cops just spawn behind you and just start lighting you up.
Oh, man, that's one of my biggest pet peeves.
But we're not talking about the stuff we hate yet.
Yeah, not yet.
So,
yeah, I like the driving.
I do like the driving. The gunplay, I think the gunplay can be a bit unsatisfying depending on what you're using. Just because, or where you are in the game. Just because the enemies are like real bullet sponges.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I like the gun variants. Like, I currently rock, I have a revolver, I have a shotgun with, I think, Dragon's Breath rounds, so it's incendiary. And then I have a heavy sniper rifle that I got from a quest. And The sniper's probably the only gun that I officially am currently still satisfied with, because at this point in the game, the other two guns are pretty outdated, and I'm pumping in like 12 rounds with the revolver just to drop someone unless I get all headshots. But the sniper's the only thing I can literally pick people off with.
No, I have a crazy shotgun.
Do you? Where'd you get it? Like, a quest or?
I got it during a quest, not from a quest. Mm-hmm. It was one of the items that I looted during one of the quests, but I don't think you're that far in the story yet.
Probably not.
But it does like 360 DPS or something.
Yeah, I think the one I got does 210 currently.
And it's magazine fed, because the one I had before did like 290.
Yeah, mine's magazine so nice.
the one I had before was like 290. And it was like a big, like, proper chunk
it was a
shotgun.
slug. You actually loaded it in.
And it was
shells.
so slow. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So, it was really fun to use. Because it was a giant shotgun. You'd walk up to someone and go, boom! You would knock them down. And then that would immediately knock them down. And then you just walk up and execute them.
Yep.
And all their limbs fell off, basically.
Yeah, I do like the dismemberment. It's very satisfying.
But if you missed, oh my God, the repercussions. It would just be like, boom! Boom! And never mind if you had to reload.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind if you have to reload. You're going to be sitting in the corner with your thumb up your ass for 35 seconds.
Yeah, I feel like the gunplay became less and less satisfying. And I don't know if it's a factor of me playing on hard, where now the difficulty curve is ramping up.
Yeah, I think one of the bigger problems was that I was underleveled for a while.
Yeah, same.
But I've since leveled up, and I've done a bunch of the side stuff. I didn't do any of the side stuff, or a lot of the side stuff, until about 15 hours in, maybe. Mm-hmm. Just because like it was so overwhelming. There was so much going on all at once. Yeah, I do remember we discussed that.
I've been doing a decent amount of the side stuff, but yeah, I do. Like you said, I do feel like the gunplay is better than I expected, but it's not. It's tough, because how do you really implement firearms into an RPG? You know, you have to really make everything well balanced, and that's tough to do.
Yeah, I mean,
because we know guns in, like, say, Call of Duty or even real life as like, you got a shotgun and you hit someone, that's it. But in an RPG, you have to take into consideration level.
I know a lot about how shotguns work in video games. Shotguns in video games and shotguns in real life are two different animals.
Yeah.
They're, because and everyone knows this, everyone parrots the same thing, if shotguns worked in video games like they worked in real life, they'd be overpowered.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't just...
They're dramatized in games.
Yeah, they have like a 2-foot range and they're super spread out. Yeah. But in, real shotguns, they're used for duck hunting.
Yeah.
It's the spread you get is like maybe the size of a quarter over, 100 yards.
Yeah. Well, it depends on your
depends
actual
on the barrel
shell.
Your shells.
So like if you use birdshot, you get a wide spread with a ton of tiny ball bearings. But if you use buckshot, tighter spread with big ass fucking 3/4 inch ball bearings. So it's only like 7 of them, I'm pretty sure.
Ugh.
And then if you get a slug round, it's like firing a lead. It's a piece of lead. It's like a lead block just firing straight.
Oh, Jesus.
But, yeah, no, for sure. But, like, just in general, like I said, a shotgun, or you're taking into consideration, like, a handgun, it's usually, like, fast fire rate, couple shots.
SMGs, too.
Down. SMG, couple shots, down. In an RPG like this, like, I can dump a full clip of an SMG into one of the enemies, and they don't drop.
It's very much like Fallout in that sense, and I get a lot of Fallout vibes.
Yeah, for sure, and that's another RPG, of course. So,
and I do like everyone's and I say this because I'm not really a Fallout fan.
Same.
People who are big Fallout fans didn't like Fallout 4.
Same.
But I'm not a huge Fallout fan, and as an RPG, I really liked it.
Me too.
I put a shit ton of time into Fallout 4.
Yeah, I played it.
It's the only Fallout game I played extensively. I haven't played any of the others.
I've only played 3 and 4, and then I've heard good things about New Vegas, but it's dated at this point.
I put a few hours into New Vegas, but it's already after I'd played 4, and I was like, "Oh man, this sucks."
That's what I'm saying. It's dated, so I don't want to go back.
And Fallout's very much the same way. It's just I feel like on Cyberpunk the game, the gunplay and the melee is much tighter.
Yeah. The melee is really good in Cyberpunk, though.
Oh, I love it.
The melee is really good. I have Mantis blades now. Pretty sweet.
Oh, see, I was gonna get Mantis blades, but I ended up getting Gorilla arms instead.
I might switch it though, because as much as they're cool, The damage is mediocre and they're slow.
Did you end up doing any of the fights?
Like beat the brat thing?
Yeah.
No, I'm waiting to go back to that to
get the gorilla arms and then do the fight.
Yeah.
Totally different game.
Yeah.
Totally different game.
I'm gonna have to because I do want to do those side quests because that was like my favorite shit in The Witcher. But at the time, playing on hard, I was getting my shit rocked by those twins at the very beginning.
Yeah, I did it a couple times, but I didn't want to lose too many monies.
Yeah, I lost all my money at the beginning, and then now I have so much money. Well, I say so much. I have like 28,000, and I'm like, yeah, I'll bet the fucking 2,000.
Yeah.
But that was early game. Those are my first 6 hours. I was getting rocked by them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, combat's pretty good.
I do quite like that. The music. Super into the music.
Super into the music. And we had discussed this, and I even told Jason this. Honestly, Cyberpunk rivals Doom for
that's
combat
what I
music.
told him the same thing. I said it has like Doom level combat music.
Yeah, it's so good.
And even the like radio station music is fucking good, dude.
I was just playing before we came to and recorded, and I was driving and I switched stations, and the station I switched to, I was just like, bro, this is hitting different. I'm flying down the highway. I'm like, oh man, I am into this. I like want to download the soundtrack and genuinely play it in my car.
I actually found out that Run the Jewels did a song for Cyberpunk while I was playing. Yes.
Wow.
Because it's on Spotify. It's called No Save Point, and
is that because the 8 megabytes?
Probably, yeah. No, it's and I'm a huge fan of Run the Jewels. Yeah. I love Run the Jewels. I listen to Run the Jewels a lot. And I just remember I was cruising I was going to a quest or something, and I heard something familiar, and I was like, hang on, let me listen. Oh shit, that's LP. And then Killer Mike starts on his verse. I'm like, oh shit!
You're like, oh my god!
Basically,
pulls over, starts crying.
He says something to the effect of like, I used to pray to God, but he took a vacation.
God damn.
And that's how he leads his verse.
God damn. God motherfucking damn.
God motherfucking damn.
But no, the music is sick, man.
I love the music.
When you get into a combat scenario and it starts to ramp up, it's like it's like really bass heavy, and you're just you're just running around like shooting people with a shotgun.
But it's really weird because I'm gunning people down, and then I'm like a little rat. I gun people down, I just take all their stuff like a little goblin man.
You undress them real fast.
Basically, yeah.
What is it? Is it Fallout that when you start taking people's stuff, you just get naked?
Fallout and Skyrim, you can do that.
Yeah, that'd be funny if Cyberpunk did that.
Noise.
He sneezed. Yeah. Yeah, I think he was sneezing.
Yeah. What a bitch.
No, yeah, that's true. I'll be honest. Looting is the one thing that has overwhelmed me so much that I just like barely do it. I only take like match dots and like guns that I see.
No, bro, I take everything. I have so many scrap components, which is gonna end up fucking me because we're gonna talk about that later.
Yeah.
But
I would try to get that fixed right away. But anyway, yeah, no. Combat music, exceptional. Radio music, exceptional. I honestly am thinking about downloading like the OST and
I'm
jam
sure it's
into
very
it.
Good. You're the character you romanced. Who was it?
Yeah, so
I have a feeling we picked the same character.
Pan Am Palmer?
Yes.
Yes. Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Dude.
Fucking in the tank, you know what I mean?
Dude, absolutely. So the farthest I got was the motel area. Not the original motel, but when you run from the sandstorm after saving Saul.
Oh, yeah.
Bitch rejected me. Please tell me there's more quests with her.
There is.
My life is saved.
I don't know if you paid attention, but I unintentionally spoiled it.
No, I heard you say about the tank. I don't care. I just wanna go to town.
You eventually
She's such a likable character.
You eventually do bang Pan Am.
Yeah, she is such a likable character. All the characters in this game are so good. I mean, there's a couple that are like,
there's a lot of freaks in that game.
There's a lot of fucking freaks.
There's a lot of. Have you met the clown guy, Ozob or something? It's Ozo Bozo. It's Bozo backwards.
Sounds familiar, but I don't think so.
He's like this big clown guy, and he's got his nose is a red grenade.
Speaking of fucked up people, that leads me to my absolute favorite quest I've played, and it was the one I just played before I came. It's a side quest called The Hunt
The
with
Hunt.
River.
Oh, yes, I remember
Where you
because
save the nephew.
yeah.
Okay, you're that far.
Yeah, I did his whole storyline.
I want to finish his storyline because that's the farthest I got with him. That quest is so good.
I really
So good.
liked I really liked Panem's storyline and River's storyline.
Those are the two I loved so far.
They were all very good. And you do I don't know if I want to say it either. I was say you do have the option to romance River as well.
Oh well, no, I figured I'm not gonna do it, but
I
figured.
At that point I was like, oh fuck it, wait, hang on, I'm not gonna be unfaithful to Panem, you know.
Listen, I'm gonna spoil something right now, not literally about the game, but about me. Whenever I play an RPG, I make the straightest white man I can.
Really?
Yeah, I never like Valhalla. You can romance any there's multiple characters, can be male, female, whatever. I always stick to myself, and I'm always with female characters. I never
No,
like people sometimes make like weird characters in Fallout and stuff.
Yeah, if there's an option, just fuck everything.
Yeah, I don't do that. I'm the type of person I try to make the character in the game myself.
The best example of this was Fable 3. You could have you could romance and have a husband or wife in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I remember I had like 6 husbands and like 5 wives, and I just like I remember I singled them out and then slaughtered the entire town. I don't know why I did that. I have finished the game, so I was bored. Yeah, that's probably why. Because I banged through that game in like 2 days. That's a very short game.
Yeah.
And I just because it was the first games with gold you could get from Xbox Live.
Oh, was it?
That's where I got it. So I just walked through and I slaughtered the whole town because I was so overpowered. No one could match me.
Yeah. But
yeah, I had you could have everything. And Skyrim, I played as a female character and I had a wife.
Yeah. See, that's the thing I never do too. For some reason,
Very rarely do I play as a female character.
Whenever
myself.
I play an RPG, I genuinely not so much the character creation. I don't pay attention to that, especially in like Cyberpunk. My character looks like a fucking goon, but it's first person, so I don't care.
Yeah,
I try to base their personality very much off of my personality.
I usually make my characters into freaks if I have the option.
Yeah.
But there's not a ton of like I made a somewhat serious character. Like I made him look rugged, like he's been through some shit.
Yeah, like Geralt-ish. Yeah. But no, so far Panem, River, some of my favorite. You know who's really pissing me off? Delamine.
Oh, really?
That motherfucker keeps calling me every time I'm driving. He's like, one of my cars is in your area.
Do those quests, they're very good.
No, I've done most of them, but here's the problem. It's leading to glitches in my game. Not that I don't want to jump to glitches, but it's causing missed dialogue issues. Because I'll be in the middle of another quest and he calls, and then dialogue is just gone for the rest of the quest. Oh,
I haven't had that.
It's so fucking annoying. I have to restart the game every time.
But I eventually, I think I finished Panem's... No, I finished a quest for Panem. I didn't finish her storyline at that point. Yeah. I did a quest for Panem, and then I just banged out all the missions.
Well, what I'm thinking about just banging out all of Delamine's because
have you done the one where the car is GLaDOS from Portal?
I think so. Do you remember what area it is? Is it Badlands?
I forget the area. It's in the city, so it's not the Badlands. But the car leads you into a trap.
I think so. Yeah, I think I did that one. Is it a bunch of guys that come out? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did that one.
You go there, and then the car's like, you fool, and then a bunch of guys jump you.
Yeah.
And I
did that one.
I'm playing a video game where a car led me into a trap, and I had to murder 6 men.
That's a good game.
That's quite a game.
But yeah, no. Like we were saying originally, characters in this game, so likable.
I do like them. One thing I have noticed though is some of the delivery on V's dialogue is a bit iffy.
Oh, I'm so happy you said that. Yeah.
I found I'm like, this is just a bit strange.
You know what see, when you talk about delivery, you know what I had a problem with his dialogue, or hers, is when you do the optional dialogue and then go to the main dialogue. Sometimes
it's always like super awkward.
Sometimes the question will be answered in the optional dialogue and then you asked it again in the main dialogue. Versus like The Witcher. The optional dialogue used to lead to a different main dialogue a lot of the times where Geralt would kind of adapt. In this, I just kind of feel like you'll be like, oh, so, you know, where's such and such? And then in the other dialogue, he says a couple things and then says, where's such and such? After it was already answered, you know?
Yeah.
It does shit like that where it's just kind of weird. Like you said, the delivery is just off. Something about it.
Some of his delivery is just a bit strange. Like, I'm hearing the voice actor putting on a performance rather than hearing the character.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
You know, another game that did that a lot, that a lot of people thought that way was Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It was a male and female character. It was Alexios or Cassandra, and a lot of people said they played as Cassandra because Alexios' dialogue in that game is so bad. It is so bad.
But in fairness, though, Red Dead had a lot of that awkward dialogue. It's not like the delivery was bad, it's just some of it was awkward. Like when you're in camp and people start having like deep conversations and then they finish up and Arthur's like, alright, see ya.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's
I'll
just
catch
like,
you later.
It's like not a glitch or a bug, but it's like just
it's
the
just
wrong
strange.
dialogue for that situation.
Some of it's a bit awkward, some of it's just a bit strange in the delivery, and I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
But overall, another thing, Johnny Silverhand is a character. Some of it's strange just because I'm like, oh, it's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
And that's not something Keanu Reeves would say.
Yeah, I literally after this topic point, I was gonna say let's squash the elephant in the room. How do you feel about Johnny Silverhand? And I never watched any of Keanu's movies. I just know of him as a meme, like John Wick and the pencil and whatever.
Yeah.
But I do feel like his dialogue and his personality is a little bit weird for the character. I don't know. There's something about the dialogue between him a lot of times that it does seem like it's a little off. But overall, I mean, he's a good actor.
Keanu. I do like Johnny Silverhand as a character.
Same, yeah. I like the whole plot with him.
I do like the dynamic where it's like at first he's like, well, this is my body now, basically.
And then he starts
he starts to get, he's like, you know what? You ain't so bad.
So, let me just jump in and say this. This might be cut, but this is just so going forward we both know. Have you met the Voodoo Boys?
Yeah.
That's the last main thing I've done. I slaughtered the Voodoo Boys after making the deal with what the fuck's her name? The guy Johnny was banging.
Oh,
I made a deal with her to try to
yeah,
fix the
okay,
end
so
rep.
you've done that quest.
That's it. That's the last main quest I did.
Alright, so you didn't do the
before I came here, I was about to go meet Takamura for something else.
So did you get the map of Japantown yet with Takamura?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Actually, that's what I'm going to do. Because you talk to his friend, and his friend denies you, and then the next thing you do with him is that.
The map.
That's what I'm about to do. So that's where I'm at, just so you know, because I know you're ahead. Obviously.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't done much more main stuff than that.
I'm gonna try to play the game a bit more, because like I said, I've been playing VR a lot. I'm gonna try to.
Obviously, they're gonna play today.
I'm gonna try to get through it a bit more, so we can have even more discussions. But anyway, that's where I'm at.
But okay. So, I don't know where we were.
We were talking about Silverhand.
Oh yeah, so Silverhand is a character. I do like I said, I did really like the dynamic that him and V have. It's just sometimes he's a bit weird, where he'll show up sometimes and he'll be like, "Hey, look at this," but I'm like in the middle of a quest.
Yeah.
Because he'll stop you and he'll have something to say.
And yeah, he'll ask you something or ask you to do something.
Yeah, but it's like most of the time I'm like, I'm in the middle of something, guy. Yeah. Give me a minute. Right?
Have you know how he asked you to smoke sometimes?
Yeah.
Have you done it? I've denied it every time.
I did it once, I think.
I think, so if he asks me again, I don't know if he's going to ask again, but if he does, I think I'm going to do it, because I've gotten to the point where you start to see that shift, where it was like V and him are at each other's throats, and then now it's to the point where, like, after the Voodoo Boys, which is where I left off, you kind of, like, almost pass out, and he's like, we got to get going, we got to get your body back, let's go, and he's trying to motivate you, kind of.
Yeah.
So I've got to that point where now I'm starting to try to lean more towards, like, he's your ally, more so than V's downfall, so I do really, really, really like the way the plot kind of handles him, and I didn't expect that, because I didn't look into the game before it came out at all much, and I really didn't think that this Keanu character would be as involved as he is. I thought it was more of like a gimmicky thing.
I thought it was just like, we need someone to sell our game.
Exactly. I really thought he was going to be like a side quest character.
Yeah.
Like a Pan Am Palmer, not like
Oh man, there's a timeline not far from ours where you could romance Johnny Silverhand.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, good character though. I mean, I think
Yeah.
I thought it'd be a little awkward once I realized his involvement in the story. I don't know why I'm dodging, but once I realized that he's stuck in your head.
Yeah.
I forgot this is a spoiler cast. Once I realized he was stuck in your head and would stick around for like the majority of the game thus far, I was like, this might not work out. And then, he actually is a likable guy.
Yeah, once you get the once you get the biochip and you wake up with Silverhand.
And he fucking beat your ass in your own apartment.
Yeah, basically. I actually saw a spoiler for how you meet Silverhand on the fucking Is It Down page for Steam while I was downloading the game. I was downloading the game and Cyberpunk caused the highest download peak on Steam ever.
You were telling me about that.
It was like,
how much data was it?
It was like 18,000 terabytes a second or something like that.
God damn, that's a lot of data.
And so everyone's download speed was shit.
Yeah, I literally was getting 500 kilobits.
So I looked up, I was like, is Steam down? And they have the Is It Down page. And everyone was reporting that it was down. And the comments were just like, oh, fuck, basically. And, but at the bottom, there was a comment that goes, John Wick dies. Meaning that because when you first meet Silverhand, you relive one of his memories where he bombs Arasaka
and you don't know
Tower,
it's a memory at the time.
and you don't know.
Well,
you know it's a flashback because it tells you
it's a flashback, but you don't know that he's dead already.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. It's
Yeah, you don't know that he's dead. So I was like, what the hell? So, but then he dies, but he dies very early into the game, but he's there the whole game because he's technically not dead. He's on the chip that's in V's head.
Yeah, which I guess was a good thing because at least they didn't say like he dies or like he's a figment or whatever. Because if they had said that, it would have been like, But now you probably went in with the thought of like, oh, he's sticking around, so he might die at the end, and then he died, and you're like, what the fuck? Wait, what? And that set up that whole plot.
Yeah,
where
exactly. I am glad that that before you get shot, Dex gets shot.
Yes,
he totally deserved it.
Wait, Oh, before Death shoots you, like, the second time? Because the first time he shoots you, that's it. You wake up in the trash yard, and then he tries to get you, and Takemura kills him.
When you're in the trash yard and Takemura kills him.
Yeah.
He gets what he deserves.
Yeah, but I see. So...
I liked Dex for a while.
I liked him for a while.
And then he screwed me over.
And then he did that. And then I was hoping, when you finally wake up, that you'd be able to go after him again. And then he shows up, and I'm like, oh shit, how's this gonna work? Like, you can't even move. And then Takemura takes care of him. But I do wish we had the opportunity to like beat Death to death or something, because at the end of the day, he not only screwed you over, but he led to Jackie's death.
Well, yeah.
By sticking you in that situation just to screw you over, you know?
And he was super casual about it too.
Yeah. It was like just another day in business.
Move the mic closer to your face.
Oh yeah. It was just another day in business.
It was just business to him because like you show up to the motel before you get shot, obviously. Yeah. And he's like, where's the Jackster? Is he in the car?
Yeah, and all this. See, and you know what's funny? I'm glad you said that. That just made me think. He probably asked that because he planned on killing V, and he knows that if he shoots V right there, Jackie's gonna run in and be like, "What the fuck?" You know. So he wanted to know where he lies at that moment, and yeah, Jackie, man, I was right in the feels, man. I liked Jackie. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I almost felt something.
Yeah, I wasn't like Arthur Morgan level, but I was like Saints Row 2 Carlos's death level.
I definitely wasn't Arthur Morgan level, but I'm trying to think of another really memorable character death.
I didn't play any of the Mass Effect games, but I know they are supposed to have some pretty memorable deaths.
Well, it's like Red Dead Redemption Sean level.
Yeah.
Where Sean was a really good character and then he gets shot.
And you're just like, oh, fuck, dude. Oh, granted, Red Dead handles it in a way where it's like he gets shot and you're like, I don't have time to mourn, I gotta fight, you know?
Yeah.
Versus with Jackie, it's like, it gives you that mourning period and then you get iced and you're like, wait.
Well.
What? And, you know, the only thing I knew about Cyberpunk, besides some basic gameplay stuff going in, was that it said in the description that you're looking for the key to immortality.
Yeah.
So when V gets iced, I was kind of like, he's gonna wake up. That'll be fine.
And then he did.
And then he did. And I'm like, damn, kind of wish I didn't know he had the key to fucking immortality, because it all just kind of...
Yeah.
It kind of set it up, but man, that plot twist with Arasaka.
I had to take a fat piss.
Me too, actually. It's the coffee.
That coffee is going through it, man.
Yeah. Dude, coffee used to give me the shits, and now it always makes me have to pee really bad.
Hey, Jordan, when you edit this, fuck you again, bitch. So, alright. So, I want to talk about specifically the heist mission.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the quests in that game are like their own little game all in one.
Yeah, they really are.
They're super long.
Yep.
Like, the one with the voodoo boys is like, it took me like 2 hours to do that whole thing.
Which I had just done. It took me a while.
Like, I remember being like kind of overwhelmed after I was done. I was like, this is kind of too much.
Yeah. Did you ice the voodoo boys, by the way, after? When you get out of the bath?
No, I didn't.
I iced them.
Really?
She pissed me off. She started talking shit. She threatened me, and I was like, nah, bro. She was like, listen, what's her face can protect you in her world, but in ours, you're at our will. And then...
Oh, she didn't say that to me.
No? I think I made a cocky remark, right? And the woman goes, basically that what the hell's her name? Anna something?
It's like...
Johnny Silver's, whatever's wife, girlfriend thing that he bangs and gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
I got out of the bath and I said something about like, oh, you're gonna hold up our end of the deal? And then she just flipped out and was like, she can protect you in her world, but here you're owned by us. And it gave me the option to say, okay, I'll be leaving now, or draw a weapon. So I just took out the weapon. And
I didn't have that option.
My primary weapon was my revolver, dude. And I just instantly aimed at her head, and I just fired, and her head popped. And she drops to the ground, and all her people are like, what the fuck? Her net runners are just still in their little chairs. And I just iced. I shot my way out of there. I fought Placide. He was a tough fight, let me tell you. He has the cybernetic ability to run. That one where they're like, teleporting all around. Have you fought anyone with that yet?
Yeah, that shit's annoying, dude.
He has that, and he just runs up to you and punches you, and it knocks you back. Dude, he was a really tough fight. I ended up having to, like, kind of head glitch him, where I would wait around a pillar, and then aim with the sniper and hit him in the head, and then run. But yeah, dude, I shot my way out of the voodoo boys, and that's where I left off. So I don't know what repercussions that's going to have.
Jesus Christ, it's really bothering me now, because her name's right here. I can't think of her name.
I actually don't even want to look it up because I'll probably get a spoiler if I type in Cyberpunk Johnny Silverhand's girlfriend.
I was trying to look at the achievement because there's an achievement for it.
Is there?
When you meet her. But you can't pull up achievements on Steam Mobile, I don't think.
Well...
Oh, I have Steam installed on here.
Oh, yeah, same. I'm an idiot. And it should be one of my most recent ones, so...
I have to log back in. God damn.
Alt Cunningham.
Jesus Christ, thank you.
I don't know where I got Anna from. Anyway, yes, Alt Cunningham. It is actually my most recent achievement, funny enough. Yeah, that part of the plot was really cool, too. Honestly.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, I just hopped out of the bath and iced the Voodoo Boys then and there.
I should have done the same thing, to be honest.
One of the things about RPGs where they give you decisions is it's about repercussions, but like in this game, I was kind of like, what's the worst that happens? I mean, I know they're not gonna permanently kill me, so I was like, fuck it, and I just iced them. Yeah.
That's true.
It was
honestly,
a brutal fight.
Just because I feel like as like V kind of has a reputation at that point where he's just like, you don't really want to mess with him.
Yeah. Well, that was my thing. She literally threatened me, like, and for me to pay enough attention to realize that she basically was like, she basically said we could kill you at any moment. I was like, well, about that. Because that's the dialogue option. It says draw a weapon, and he just goes, I think I'll do fine on my own, and then you just blow her head off. And then it just gets off the intense music, and yeah. I was like, listen. At the end of the day, if you kill me, she doesn't even get what she wants if she kills me. Think about it. That's true. Think about it. I mean... She still fought back, but I fucking murdered them.
You know.
So good, though. Oh, so good. Yeah. So, the heist.
The heist. That
mission had me on edge, man.
That's what I was talking about, because some of the missions are like their own game, on its own, really.
Yep.
And the heist was like, that's a fairly long quest.
That was a pretty long quest. Especially if you're like me, I don't know, but you pick all the optional dialogue options?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I do. So. And
it was a damn good optional quest, too. Optional quest. It's a damn good long quest, too.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of build-up, a lot of payoff, and then shock factor, yeah.
Yep, and then I liked... I don't know how you played. I think you said that you might have done... I think you said that you did the same thing I did, where you tried to sneak around... And then you just ended up having to gun your way out.
So I tried to sneak around, and then I got to the part with the elevator where you have to get the key off that special officer. But I realized after the reason I couldn't figure out what to do is because my game glitched. And you know how it says objective, get to the elevator, and then it switches to objective, get the key?
Yeah.
It never said get the key, so I just stood in front of the elevator, and I couldn't get in. So then I got spotted trying to figure out how the fuck to get in the elevator, and then after I iced everybody, then it said pick up the key from the guard. So it glitched and never switched quest objective. So I didn't know what to do. So I made it stealth the whole way until there. And then I just shot my way out.
Yeah, I did some of it stealth, and then I was like, man, I don't really have the patience for this.
I have a stealth heavy build as well.
And I grabbed someone, and I killed them that way, because you can't take your gun in there, can you?
No, you have to get the gun off them.
That's what I figured. That's what I remembered, but I didn't remember if I was misremembering it.
Yeah.
Because there is another quest where they take your guns. The one where you have to find Evelyn again. Yeah. Where you go to the club dollhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a weird experience.
That was a weird one. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's a weird one. But I remember I did that thing where I saw someone and they were in my way. I choked them out, or I snapped their neck, whatever V does, and I took their katana and I just started slicing.
Yeah.
But with the heist one, what I ended up doing is I choked the guy out, snapped his neck, did whatever, and then he had a gun on him, so I just took the guy. I was just like, fuck it,
and I started unloading. Yeah.
Yeah. But now the option is, if I didn't have a gun, now I have the gorilla arms. So those things are fun, dude.
What does it actually let you do?
It just lets you punch really hard.
Oh, really? So you like knock people back and shit?
And it makes a really good noise.
Like that?
Yeah, my cat's screaming.
I'm gonna have to try to get that upgraded. I don't really like the mantis blade, so I think I'd like gorilla arms a bit more.
What? Is that so?
Freaking cat.
Loud boy. All right.
Cyberpunk. Uh-oh.
All right. So, again, I forgot where I was. Oh, the weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I just shot my way out of there. That guy, the special officer that you have to fight, he got stuck for me. Like, yeah, he spawned and then he was stuck.
Yeah.
And then I hit him a couple times and he had to phase through reality. And then I just killed him and it was fine. But the gorilla arms, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, you punch
the
really
gorilla
hard.
arms, that's it makes a really good noise when you hit stuff too. So what I do is I'll save the last enemy in the room and go, oh, this guy's getting the gorilla arms, and I just punch the shit out of him.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been doing much more of a stealth build. Anytime I get the opportunity, I do the stealth. Because honestly, the stealth in the game is pretty good. It's not the greatest, but it's not a stealth game. For an RPG that has all these different ways to play, the stealth is pretty good.
Yeah, I just don't have the patience for stealth, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, stealth is one of my favorite genres of game, so...
That's why
like Dishonored. Ooh.
That's why in Hitman, the way I play is essentially I take someone out stealthily, grab their outfit, get close to the target, and just gun them down without any hesitation, and then just run.
Yeah.
And I just shoot my way out of there.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I mess up, and then I shoot my way out of there into a room where I can switch disguises, and then I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to play all 100% stealth in a lot of games, like Dishonored and stuff.
Yeah, I just don't have the patience.
Yeah. Understandable. It can be a little tedious when you're just sitting there waiting for like a guard to walk by or trying to figure out what path they take so you can,
the only game I was okay at stealth in was well, there's two games, Far Cry 3 and Payday 2.
Really?
Payday 2, simply because the routes the guards took were super simple and you could just memorize them.
Yeah.
Like, I could tell you how to stealth the bank job, any of the Harvest Trustee bank jobs, like, off the top of my head. Same with the jewelry store. Same with the diamond store.
Yeah.
Just because the guards are so predictable. And Far Cry 3, well, I guess it was Far Cry 4, but same game, basically.
Yeah.
After a while, you just realize that everything's the same.
Yeah.
And you just roll up with a silent sniper and you can take people off from a distance.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen those,
Or you go from a distance and you take out the 2 alarms and then...
Yeah. You ever seen, like, the stealth speedrun challenges they do with, like, Dishonored or Far Cry?
No, I haven't.
Super impressive to watch, but maybe I'll show you one after, but...
Yeah, that's besides the point.
Yeah, I try to do some stealth stuff, but a lot of it also is, like, you can't stealth everything in this game, so I do focus a lot on leveling up my assault abilities, so...
Yeah, I actually put a lot of my points into, like, all the passive abilities on body.
Yeah.
Like,
I got the max health regen, out of combat. That's a good one.
Yeah,
it's
like
almost
the
as
health...
valuable as the Witcher, 25-minute food thing.
Yeah.
Currently, my points are dumped. I have a couple in cool, a bunch in technical, a bunch in intelligence, and a bunch in body. And then reflexes and, whatever the hell the other one is
yeah, mine are
there.
like pretty much the same thing, like body, intelligence, and tech ability.
Yeah.
But do we want to talk about the biggest things, bugs?
Yeah, I figure we can get there. We can go there because I have one bug in particular that's really been pissing me off personally, in my experience.
Okay.
And I brought it up a little bit before, the missing dialogue.
Yeah, I actually had that like once, where a character just skipped dialogue. Like a character called me, I forget who it was, but
and it was just silent.
V answered the phone, and did his thing, and then and then the character was just silent for 30 seconds. I was like, oh my god, is this something I'm gonna have to deal with now?
Mm-hmm.
and then V said something else. I was like, oh, it just skipped the dialogue.
Yeah. I've had it where V doesn't talk, V double talks, and characters don't talk. So, one of the biggest things I had was I'd be in a mission where it requires me to, walk with the river, just say, and I walk past a fucking Delamine car and he calls, and it automatically answers. You can't just bitch him off. It'll answer if you just don't answer after like 6 seconds. And then V will start talking to the river and Delamine at the same time.
Yeah,
and it's incredibly annoying.
I had that with one of Panam's quests.
What? Probably one of the ones in the Badlands, because that was where I got it a lot too. Because you drive through the Badlands to get to the Arcadolitos.
After that, I did the
Delamine quests.
The quests.
Yeah. Oh, that I don't know what's worse, the double talking or when it just straight out cuts out like an NPC dialogue, or like what will happen is if you're walking with River, you might bump into an NPC on the street and then they start talking, which cuts off River, and all you hear is them, and it's fucking annoying. But
yeah,
that and some of the graphical glitches are the two biggest things that have been hindering my experience.
I did run into a game-breaking bug, however. Yeah. One where I just had to restart my game. Simply because there was a quest. It's after the one you're on with Takemura. But the beginning of the quest is he has to call you. And it does that thing that it does, which I think is really annoying, where it's like, wait a day for this character to call you.
Yeah.
And I waited a day, and nothing happened. And then I waited another day. I was like, am I doing something wrong? And he wouldn't call. I saved, restarted my game, and he called immediately, right as I loaded my save.
One of the most annoying bugs I've had too, forgot about this one, it just happened with River. You watch the BD to figure out where the warehouse is. After that BD, for the remainder of that quest, and until I'm assuming I launch the game tonight or tomorrow, it said losing signal strength at the top.
I had that too.
Fucking annoying.
I had that too. It was so super annoying.
I mean, I not to sound like a weirdo, but I have a 27-inch monitor, so it was kind of off to the top, so I let it go. Otherwise, I would have restarted, but it was still annoying to see it there.
It was annoying.
And an already fairly cluttered HUD, it was kind of
annoying. Yeah, this is a thing, really. You gotta think. They're kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Where, like, as we're still enjoying the game, like, it was released before it was finished. Yep. And that much is obvious.
Yep, 100%.
And that's the thing. They were in like this lose-lose situation where it's like they could have delayed it. They probably should have delayed it another 3 months, another 4 months, something like that, so they could have finished the game. But people would have been pissed.
Yeah.
Now they say, whatever. They cave. They said, whatever. We'll just fix it later. We'll release it. Just because people are going to bitch about it if we don't. So they cave. They release it. And, you know, the people get pissed because the game's full of bugs. It doesn't make sense. It's like, it's a very much like a rock and a hard place sort of thing.
Yeah.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. And it's like, I mean, everyone was like, we're going to cry if the game gets delayed. We're going to cry again. We're going to scream on Twitter because, you know, we're man children. We're going to complain, I took a month off work for this so I could play Cyberpunk. And, you know, and CD Projekt Red, they knew that these babies were going to cry again. And if they delayed the game, so they just said, whatever, and we'll just finish the game later. Right? And now, it's a No Man's Sky launch, and the game's full of bugs, it's not finished. Oh, you think. Yeah. You think it's not finished, because you cried every time they delayed the game.
Yeah. I mean,
Going on, have you looked at the Cyberpunk subreddit?
No, I don't want to for spoiler reasons. I don't trust people to use the spoiler tag.
No, it's like a maternity ward with the amount of babies I see in there. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Everyone's like, it's broken, it doesn't work. Yeah, no shit. You didn't let them finish the game. I just think, and it's not that I'm absolving CD Projekt Red from all liability here. It's an unacceptable launch. I paid $60 for it. Am I happy so far? Yeah, I'm having a good time.
Yeah, however, I wish it was better, but yeah, I'm having a good time.
I just think that because what they should have done, really, in reality is they probably shouldn't have announced it till like E3 of this year.
Yeah.
And then just said like, we're doing a launch in 1 year, and just released it mid next year.
Instead of 2012, is that what you're saying? Like the original announcement of the game?
No. I mean when they originally announced the launch date, release date.
Okay, instead of earlier this year announcing it for this year or whenever.
Yeah, just announcing it like June of this year for E3,
and just saying,
this is the game. This is the first time we're officially showing it off, aside from a teaser, and this is the release date, and just make it like June of next year.
Yeah.
Because it's clear they didn't have enough time.
Yeah. The problem is, they announced it too soon. They jumped the gun, got a lot of hype, delayed it a bunch of times, which isn't acceptable in my opinion. Like, there shouldn't have been 2 months, 2 months, 2 months. It should have been, we're delaying it for 10 months. Not, we're delaying it for 2 months, 3 months. This time we're delaying it 2 more months, and now we're delaying it another month. You know what I'm saying? So that's why people get pissed off. And part of me also wonders, like, the way the game was shipped on last gen. Did they not have issues on base PS4s playing the game? Or did they just genuinely ship it like it was?
Well, that's the thing, and they kind of, they sort of admitted this, where I don't know if it was an error on their end, or if it was just they were deliberately out to trick people. I think it might have just been an error on their end, or they showed gameplay from like a PS4 Pro, or the Xbox One X. So, and on those consoles, it runs fine.
It runs pretty good, yeah. The only problem they have there is crashing. That's about it.
In terms of how Cyberpunk runs, it runs pretty good.
Yeah.
And they didn't show it on the fat PS4s, the
fat
launch ones.
Yeah.
The launch PS4 and Xbox One. And those are so underpowered.
Well, which it's 2013 fucking hardware.
Which I think was the thing, is they should have specified, and they should have specified this in terms of just like like Sony and Microsoft should specify this, where they separate games, where it's like, this one is, we recommend playing it on the Xbox One X, or we recommend playing this on the PS4 Pro. You can play it on the launch PS4, but I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
If it runs terrible on the launch PS4, don't blame us.
Yeah,
we warned you.
See, here's where I kind of stand on that, is where, like, for a game to launch on console, there shouldn't be a disparity. Like, yes, the PS4 Pro should be able to run it better, but there shouldn't be there shouldn't be a disparity between unplayable and playable.
Maybe I take that back.
Because think about it. You have a PS4, and they say this is a PS4 game, because the box art doesn't say PS4 Pro. It says PlayStation 4, PS4 Pro Enhanced. But it doesn't even run on the base PS4.
I do actually, now that you're saying it that way, I do actually agree. Where they probably should have initially designed the game
for PS4
standard, and then...
That's where I'm at. Do I think it's acceptable? No. Do I think people are a little too pissed off? Maybe, but I think they're doing what they can to right their wrongs, and at the end of the day, they're handling it better than a lot of developers would.
I think, frankly, I just think if they had more of a... When it got delayed again in November, they should have been like, we're going to push it to early next year.
Early 2021, yep.
Because... There's supposed to be a patch released, like, next month, and there's supposed to be one released in, like, February.
Yep.
So if they just said, we're going to release it in March, then...
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how, like, much better the game's going to be after those patches. I'm assuming a lot better.
I'm hoping. I mean, if for a patch to take over a month, or about a month, and then another patch a month later, those are big patches. That's not like hot fixes. That's a patch. That is a rework of something.
Exactly. Because there's like a lot of stuff is half baked in that game. Like
a lot. Yeah.
There is. I'm convinced that there's like little to no driving AI.
For NPCs?
For NPCs.
Agreed.
Park in front of a car in traffic. They will not move around it.
No, they'll sit there. Take a turn while a car is coming. Take a turn with like 100 feet between it. That car will beep as well. As soon as you get in front of it, it'll beep.
Yeah, and then it's in a way where it's like GTA does it really well, and obviously it's because they've had experience making games like that.
Yeah.
I just think maybe they should have done it a bit better, just because it seems like that cars are on a specific set path.
Yeah.
And they won't deviate from that path,
They won't
rather
even
than
let switch
having their
lanes or-
own AI.
Yeah. Like GTA, you block a lane, the car will go around you.
Yeah. I just want simple things like that. And police chases.
Yeah, the fact that that's not a thing is whack.
That's. I'm assuming that's going to be added in the post-launch patches.
Well, yeah, because as of now, you run someone over and the police just appear with like fucking 15 officers and like 7 cars.
I'm
dude.
assuming that's going to be the case. Because, like I said, it's very obvious they didn't have enough time to finish the game.
Yeah.
Because people are
Crybabies.
really, really whiny.
I don't know much about CD Projekt Red aside from The Witcher 3. That was the first game I played for them. I have a strong feeling that up until The Witcher 3, not much happened with the Cyberpunk. Between 2012 and like 2016, the year after The Witcher 3, I feel like there was a small team working on this project, and then The Witcher 3 was as successful as it was, and it became this grandiose, ambitious thing.
Yeah, they didn't even really start talking about the game until like
Post Witcher 3, right?
Like far post Witcher 3, like 2018.
Yeah. So I really do feel like that's part of the problem is the game has been in development, and I'm using air quotes, from 2012, but it's really only been in development since
true,
like 2017,
because everyone's
2018.
like, we waited 8 years for this.
But then you have Red Dead 2 we waited fucking 8 years for, and look at how that shipped. Bigger studio? Yeah. But
Here's the thing.
that was 8 years of solid development.
Yeah. This isn't 8 years of solid development. I don't think so, anyway. It's gotta be like 2.
2 or 3. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of detail in this game, but if this is 8 years of development, I want to know how long did they take on The Witcher 3?
Because
15?
they started announcing that they were hiring people for development in like 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's when it actually started.
Yeah. I think up till then it was just theorized, and maybe like, some plot points were set in place, and then it all kicked off.
Yeah.
Because this is not an 8-year developed game. Not if Ubisoft can make Assassin's Creed Valhalla in like 2 years to its quality standards, Cyberpunk after 8 years would be significantly better.
I am pissing. Fucking coffee, man. I don't know what's different about that one. Never is this an issue when I drink other coffees.
Really? It always is when I do. I always have to piss. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised Chunk hasn't like leaped through there and knocked everything
He's
over.
pretty good about that, actually. I leave that window open all the time.
It does
fine
smell.
with it, really.
Wow, it does smell like cough medicine.
Yeah, it does.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's
That's so
crazy.
weird.
I bought like a fucking quart of it, so I can't really.
Get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it that one right there?
No, I have the full thing under my desk. It's in. I just refilled that bottle.
Right there.
That's up there.
Gotcha. But yeah. Anyway, as for solid development, I feel like if this game was genuinely developed starting in 2015, just say like not even 2012 announcement, but say after The Witcher, they were like, hey, we're working on this game called Cyberpunk, and then they took 8 years to do it. The amount of detail in that game would be insane. The level of polish would be insane. This is not an 8-year project.
I mean, that's the thing, though. Really, is Night City as a map is super detailed.
Super detailed.
There's a lot of little things going on in Night City.
Yeah, I do have to say one thing about like the city and the interactions, where not to compare it to Red Dead 2, but in Red Dead 2, every NPC is alive. In Night City, they're just fucking
They're
stupid.
just kind of there.
Yeah, they're just there.
And that's
A little bit of a bummer.
In a way, I don't like that, but in a way, I don't really care.
I'm always driving around anyway.
They were like that in The Witcher, too.
Yeah.
They were, unless they're an NPC that you can have a quest from.
They're not very lively. Yeah.
They're just blank slates, really.
Yeah.
But, and GTA is GTA, Red Dead, Rockstar's always really good with NPCs.
Yeah.
Like, especially Red Dead is you can like provoke the NPCs or
befriend them, and and the thing about the NPCs in like Red Dead is they also have different personalities. So like even if you befriend someone who's just an arrogant dick, they'll still be an arrogant dick. They don't just become nice guy because you were a nice guy.
Yeah.
And then people who are nice, even if you're a dick, sometimes they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, mister," instead of fighting back. So very natural. Cause Chris, you're a large lad. If you just walked up to someone at Walmart and were just like, "I should punch your teeth in,"
Just like that?
yeah, just like Arthur Morgan.
I'd get my ass kicked.
Yeah, but see, you might not though. You might get someone who laughs, but then you also might get someone who kicks your ass.
I try
Red Dead does that very well.
not to look at people when I go to Walmart.
Well, understandable. But Red Dead does that well. You know, where in real life that's how it would be. If you said that to someone, there's plenty of people who would laugh.
Okay, so I know I probably sound like shit right now, but I got some bad news. From here on out, firstly, hope you're enjoying the episode, but from here on out, and episode 21, something went wrong with the audio, and there's this very weird background noise, so I did what I could in post to cut it out, and it doesn't sound great, but it's the best I could make out of what I had, so regardless, I hope you guys like it. Totally understand why you might not, and why you might skip the remainder of this episode and episode 21, but kind of what we're working with at this point. So yeah, hope you are willing to stick around, suffer through it with us, because we're just as upset as you might be.
Plenty of people who would drop their stuff and be like, "Fight me, motherfucker," you know?
Just an aside, have you ever been to Walmart and then immediately gone to a Target?
Yes.
It's like going from the Neolithic era, like the Stone Ages, into like modern society, going from Walmart to Target.
Yeah. There's Target, I don't know, it has a different aura.
Like, I'm convinced...
They have a Starbucks in Target.
I'm convinced that the Walmart parking lot is a PvP-enabled zone.
It's a dark zone from the Division.
I have to go fucking beat my cat. Hey!
Cats. See, I don't miss those days when Oscar was actually active and nimble.
Cat-like box. That's
Yeah.
all I will say.
But Night City as a whole, pretty nice, really nice to look at.
Oh yeah, it's very pretty.
The cars are super cool. Like the way cars look,
Yeah.
they're very cool.
It's a very pretty game. It's just it doesn't run very well.
Yeah, I meant to ask you when we were talking about driving in the game earlier. Did you get the Delenta? Did you get the Delenta car back? The Nomad car that you
Yeah.
start with?
Yeah, where
That's
you
my
have
favorite
to,
car.
You have to kick the woman out of the car.
Yeah, I just paid her. It wasn't much $, so I just paid her.
I kicked her out.
Really?
I don't know how Johnny reacts when you just buy it, but when you kick him out, or when you kick her out, she's like, "Yeah, Johnny will spawn in the car next to you." And go, that was a dick move, V.
Nah, so when I bought the car, Johnny actually goes in the car on the side of you, and V's like, "Oh, this is so awesome." And Johnny just looks at you and goes, "V, punch it," and he puts his glasses on, and you just take off, and badass music starts playing.
Really?
And then it finishes the quest or whatever.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, "Punch it, V," and then it automatically makes you drive like wicked fast down that highway.
Oh,
It's sick.
I wish I had done that.
I told you I play like myself. I would never kick a woman out of my car because at the end of the day she did find it. So I always played on my own personality, and my personality was to pay her. So
Well, I essentially do a similar thing. I pretty much do the same thing with my choices I make in games. Like, that's my shit. Get the fuck out.
yeah. Well, see, I'm like that, and like the voodoo fucking lady, where she threatens you straight to your face. That's how I would react. Granted, in real life, I wouldn't fight 10 people with a gun because I'd get my shit killed. But
Yeah.
as for like the aggressive, yeah. But like something like that, at the end of the day, you did kind of find the car. You left it there. You died. Came back from the dead. I understood, and it was so cheap. You pay her like €160. I had like 27,000 at that point, dude.
Yeah, I did too, but it's mine. I'm not gonna pay for what's
And
mine.
this is why Johnny doesn't like you.
That's fair.
But no, it's cool though. And then that car is so good. I don't know what it is about the handling, but like I love the way it handles. I love how fast it is. I just wish you could customize it cosmetically.
You do actually get
Sports cars, you can do it too, right?
no. You actually get a car given to you in one of the quests. In one of the side quests, that's literally the best car in the game. They just give you the fastest car in the game
Really?
after one of the quests. Yeah.
That's sick. Something to look forward to, I guess.
Yeah.
But
And that one's super fun to drive.
is it?
It just sounds like an angry wasp, though. It's like
as it's flying down.
yeah. but it'll go like 200 miles an hour through the city.
Back to the bugs though. I am quite disappointed with the performance of the game. On my computer with my i9, my 32 gigs of RAM, my 2070 Super, and I have it on my NVMe SSD, I still get pop-in with certain assets, like shadows for one, pop-in hard.
I don't get pop-in.
I do, and I have DLSS enabled on performance mode, and I'm getting like roughly 50 frames per second, fairly solid.
Yeah, it's relatively similar with me. I get closer to like 70. I have a 2080 though.
Yeah.
So I have a Ryzen 9
Super, right?
Yeah, I have a 3900X, 64 gigs of RAM, running on my NVMe drive with a 2080 Super. And with DLSS on performance mode, I get like 70 FPS.
Yeah.
Mix of low, medium, and high settings. I just mixed it all.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at.
I'm
at medium and high.
I probably could tweak it more.
Yeah.
I just don't really have the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm satisfied.
And it runs good enough.
Yeah, I don't want to say satisfied. I'm content with how it's running now.
Yeah.
But I just kind of have a feeling if I start tweaking things, I might make it worse in a weird way.
Yeah.
I'm striking a balance between frame rate and the pop-in and the textures, so I feel like if I start to lower things, I'm going to get really shitty visuals, but then if I start to raise things, I'm going to get really shitty frame rate. So I'm just leaving it where it's at, you know. I haven't had any crashes, luckily. I don't know about you.
I have not.
No.
I have not. I think crashing is only a big issue on console.
Yeah. And speaking of console, they pulled the game off console.
They pulled the game off PlayStation Store.
And soon, I think they're pulling it off Xbox, potentially. It's in the discussion phase.
The last game that was pulled off a storefront for being so bad was Arkham Origins.
Yeah, it was pulled off Steam.
But they pulled it. Steam didn't pull it. This time,
Sony pulled it.
Sony pulled it. It wasn't a CD Projekt Red decision. Sony pulled it.
Yep. And thanks to that pull and the mediocre launch, CD Projekt Red dropped 1.8 billion in stock.
I wouldn't call it a mediocre launch. I would call it a disastrous launch.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. I was trying to make them feel better. Disastrous launch, almost as bad as Arkham Knight.
And it was. My bottom line is, I'm having a great time with the game. And I really like the game. In its current state, it's like a 6 out of 10. Right? If it had no bugs, no game-breaking errors, and it actually ran really well, it would be like a 9.5.
Yeah. I am solidly in love with the universe and the way the game plays, so if they can completely fix it where I can just play it with no major issues, I would say it's like a 9.5, 10.
Yeah, just because I can play it and I'm having a great time right now.
But I know I could be enjoying it way more.
But just because I praise the game doesn't mean I can't be critical of it. And
Absolutely
the way
not.
it launched was absolutely unacceptable.
No, it's kind of embarrassing. And they even came out and were like, "Don't worry, we'll rebuild trust because we realized that we're a bunch of fucking idiots."
Well, but I'm picturing, I can smell it. The No Man's Sky, the game it's being compared to at launch, had an amazing redemption arc.
Absolutely
amazing redemption arc. To the point where I own the game now. I own No Man's Sky. Just because of all the work they put into it since it was launched. And it's really fun.
And it's a really complete. They had I think it was called No Man's Sky Above and Beyond was one of the big updates.
Yeah.
And genuinely, since then, the game is physically above and beyond what they've promised. Like,
it's
the game
actually
is better
like
than
they
it.
added in pretty much everything they promised. So I'm
more.
assuming, I'm not assuming, I know CD Projekt Red will fix this game.
Yeah. And part of me is kind of sad because I almost want to wait for it to be fixed, but I can't just stop playing. Although there's one thing I'm probably going to start waiting to be fixed.
So, that's what I'm going to talk about right now.
This is bad, ladies and gentlemen.
So, this morning, or this afternoon, I don't remember which, I was informed of the worst, most horrific bug of any video game
Ever.
that I've ever played. I'm not even joking. Is in Cyberpunk 2077. Your save files The size is entirely dependent on how many items you pick up and how many items you craft and how many items you disassemble, because each item has to have a unique identifier that has to be stored in your save file. And it doesn't matter what you do with your inventory. Once you pick up the item, it's logged in your save file. Or once you disassemble the item, it's logged in your save file still. So, your save file cannot exceed 8 megabytes, or else it will corrupt itself. Not like it might, it will. There is a hard 8 megabyte limit. There's a hard cap on it. I don't know how big my save file is at the moment, but I've picked up a bunch of stuff. I've crafted a bunch of stuff. I've disassembled a bunch of stuff. So it's probably a pretty decently big save file. So, 1, back up your save files. Back them up. This is 100% a serious
real
thing.
issue, guaranteed issue.
Like,
this isn't like going to happen to some people.
Yeah, a real thing that CD Projekt Red has already addressed. Well, I say already addressed. Their legitimate response to it right now on the CD Projekt Red support site is to load an older save and don't pick up as much stuff. Right now.
For now.
I'm assuming they're going to fix it very soon. Who knows?
I'm not a developer, obviously, but if there's a 8 megabyte cap, they can't just remove the cap, or is that like an engine limitation, or like what is that? Why is that not something they can just fucking flip a switch? And
yeah, I'm not sure.
Because I really want to know, because this is like, it's not like you're saving to their servers where they're like, oh, we limited each person's data. This is on my NVMe drive.
People are assuming it's a load time thing, because I've heard people on mechanical disks, if they have larger save files, it can take like 30, 45 seconds, a minute and a half to load.
Lucky for me, I take like 4.5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm genuinely around like the 6-second mark.
Yeah, I'm on my NVMe drive, right? It takes me, I don't know, I hit launch, and like in 10 seconds I'm in my save file.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's why they did it. It has to be some kind of engine limitation or something.
That's what I'm thinking. It's got to be an engine thing, because load times. I mean, I don't know if you saw this, but in the options for the game, under I think gameplay, there's an option called slow disk drive, and you can check it, and it says this will do certain things to your file to make it easier to load on a mechanical drive.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a literal option. So if that option's unchecked, I don't see why there would have to be any sort of data cap. But I would say that's a terrible bug. And I don't know how they didn't find that in testing.
And that's, well, because I'm assuming they didn't do much testing.
I'm assuming.
Because they had to push the game out or else everyone was going to riot.
Yeah.
So that's the most glaring issue at the moment. And that's like
that's the thing I'm most nervous about.
I almost don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, until it's fixed.
But like I have to play at least a little bit, man, just because if I don't play, I'm not going to be interested anymore.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to be lost in my own save file.
You got to kind of give that little fix, keep you in that world.
Exactly.
Well, that's how I feel. Like I said, I don't think I said it on the show, but before the show, I played like mostly VR since Cyberpunk launch. I played 16 hours of Cyberpunk. Played VR for like the whole week, and then today just picked up Cyberpunk again, and I was like, wait a minute. But then I got into it, and I was like, damn, bro, this is good. Yeah,
I'm having a really good time, but I also don't want my save file to detonate itself.
Well, I'm the type of person who, I don't play games twice, like ever. I still haven't done that Red Dead 2 second playthrough just because I have a really hard time doing it, and like motivating myself to do it. So if my save does get deleted, there is a good chance I will never play this game again. Genuinely.
I do second playthroughs on a lot of games.
Yeah.
I've played through Skyrim like 2 or 3 times. Mm-hmm. Granted, that one's kind of short in terms of the story. But
yeah.
I've had like 1 or 2 like 40, 50 hour saves on Skyrim. Witcher 3 I've played through 3 times. Red Dead 2 I've played twice.
Yeah.
So this was a game that I had specific intentions of playing multiple times.
Especially with the life paths.
That's the thing. That's another thing that, and it seems like it's kind of geared for multiple playthroughs as well. So what I ended up, and I said this before the game even released, my first Nomad playthrough I want to do as like my baseline playthrough, but next I wanted to do Corpo, and just be like completely evil.
Stingy businessman, that's what you had said, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. Evil businessman. And I just wanted to, like, every bad choice you can make, I wanted to make it.
Yeah.
So.
I forgot to mention this glitch, too. I didn't even realize I put this in the notes, but this was a big one. I had the missing dialogue, but I also had a problem where 2 story missions were being played at the same time.
What?
I was getting objectives for 2 separate missions at the same time.
I didn't have that with story missions. I had that with side quests because
I think it was side quests, not.
There was
not
2 side quests that were in the same area.
I think that's what my problem was.
There was one side quest, I believe it's called Big in Japan.
Sounds familiar.
There's a side quest where you have to go down to like some docks and you have to find a fridge that's marked a certain way to get a package
and you have to
from
fight all those fucking people. And the package ends up being a guy.
It's just a guy. But above that, because you have to go like down some stairs, above that there's like an auto shop or something like that, a garage. And that's part of a gig.
Yeah.
That's part of a gig. You have to steal a laptop or something from there. So like I broke into there because I figured that's why I was looking for the guy.
Well, really, you were doing the gig.
And really, I was doing the gig, and I picked up this laptop, and then I got a phone call that was like, "Oh, thanks for grabbing that for me, V. Just load it at the drop point." I'm like, "Huh?
Where's the fridge?
Where's the fridge?" And then I noticed my objective, the actual marker. I'm like, "Oh, it's like 150 meters away. Oops! I just killed a garage full of people for something I didn't even know I was doing."
Yeah.
So I did that gig, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I did the Big in Japan. That was a fun one.
That's a cool mission. I stealthed that mission as well.
Oh, I didn't. That's by the time I was like really gaining confidence because I started leveling myself up a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
That the Tiger Claw saw me. I put the guy down, and I just went nuts. I murdered everyone in that area.
That's funny.
Because I could have gotten away without killing like everyone, but I remember.
What's the fun in that?
I thought I got everyone. I started moving back, and I heard someone yell something in Japanese at me. And I turned around, and there was like 4 or 5 more of them, and I just like I ran over to them to specifically kill them.
Yeah, I stealthed that part. I distracted a couple people with like a fridge. I tapped it, and then they walked in. I just choked them out. It's good though. I like the game. The bugs are bad, and I am nervous about that 8 megabyte cap.
Yeah, that has to be like an engine limitation or something. So I'm curious to see how they're going to get around that, and if they can. But if they can't, I just don't know what else to do. Like, I would be scared of putting a lot of hours into the game.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm scared of just continuing at this point because I won't. I'm 20 hours in, and if you think I'm going to find 20 hours to replay what I've already played, because I would want the same life path, I'd want the same outcome to be where I was, I'm not going to put 20 more hours into the game to get back to where I was.
Yeah, I would probably just put it down for a few months and then...
Yeah, I would have to do that, and by that time, I play so many games. Like, you always say that you don't play a lot of games. I do. I would go right back to Valhalla and just play the shit out of that, because I still really want to go back to
I've been playing a lot more games recently, so...
Yeah. I'm having a tough time because I'm really getting the itch to go back to Valhalla, and I haven't played it since Cyberpunk launched, so now I'm balancing 2 massive RPGs.
Yeah, that's the thing. As of right now, if you weren't, like, really, really hyped, and I've given this advice to several people already, if you weren't already, like, really hyped for Cyberpunk like we were, don't get it until the bugs are all worked out.
I would literally suggest getting it in March, like you had said earlier, but that's probably
April,
when it'll be fixed.
like, sometime mid-next year, early to mid-next year.
And let me just tell you, once you do get it, if it is all fixed, you will have a phenomenal game on your hands.
And I'm having a great time even with the bugs, so...
Yeah, I mean, I'm having a good time. I haven't had anything super game-breaking much. It's just been graphical things, and I try to look past it. So, I like the characters in the game. It's a good game. I recommend it if you have, like, a fucking $3,000 PC. And that's about it. I don't recommend... Or, if you have a PS5 or Series X, because it runs phenomenal on those.
Yeah, that's the thing, is, Jesus. That's the thing with the PC side of it. I watched Some Ordinary Gamers video, and the guy, Mudahar, he has a 3090. He was like, listen, this game shouldn't bring a 3090 to its knees.
No, not at all.
He said he had a 3090, and he was running with ray tracing. It was obvious. You could tell. The game looks so pretty with ray tracing.
I know, that's the one thing I'm kind of bummed about.
So, if I ever get a 3090, I'll probably put ray tracing on.
Even a 3080, once the buds are fixed and it fits and it's optimized, should run a lot better.
Yeah. But he was like, even on my 3090, it's like really struggling.
Yeah.
So, it's clearly an optimization thing. But I feel like we've talked about this kind of enough.
Yeah, time to put it to bed. We'll talk about it more as we go on.
Holy shit, we're at an hour 40.
Yeah, we had a lot of not a lot. We had like 3 pauses.
Yeah, we had a few pauses.
We'll talk about it more as we play and as things develop, and you know.
Yeah, I
But
doubt
this
we're
has
gonna
been-
do another full
No.
spoiler cast.
Maybe once we beat the game.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think that's kind of the way we should go. Is
Um,
like we shouldn't talk about it until we finish the game and we have
Yeah.
more final opinions, if we even get to finish the game, because of
Truthfully,
that save
the
bug.
save bug
That
is
save
yeah.
thing.
So it'll be a while before you hear in-depth Cyberpunk talk. We might discuss a couple things here and there, but in-depth spoiler, that'll be saved for the end.
Yeah.
That was fun though. It was nice to get a couple of my thoughts gathered. You know, I'm very in the middle with it, where I'm just kind of waiting for it to become what I think it will be.
Yeah.
It's about where I'm at. All I know is I'm having a good time, but I'm also lucky enough to have a almost $2,000 PC.
Yeah.
So
That's gonna do it for us. That's the end of the show.
yes, it is.
That's the usual things. You can listen to us on Spotify, your favorite podcasting app with the RSS feed that we have linked in our description.
Yes.
You can send us an email, comments, questions, concerns, death threats. synapsemisfire@pm.me. And that's it. That's the show.
Yeah, give the Cyberpunk devs some time. You know, don't yell at them. They're just workers. At the end of the day.
They're gonna keep yelling at them. It's not gonna stop anything.
I know. I'm just saying. It's just they're humans. They're working. They're working extensive hours, and it's like 4 days till Christmas or 6 days till Christmas.
Alright, get out of my house now.
I'm gonna go play Cyberpunk. Fuck you.
Alright, fuck you. I'll do this podcast on my own.
Oh damn. Well, you ain't gonna have no viewers, man, because I'm the main show. Viewers go up. Fuck.